Don't worry about what others think of you, because everyone only thinks about themselves. Keep an open mind and act like an artist, but think, fail, and learn like a scientist. Sometimes the world is trying to tell you who you are, but if you don't stop to reflect and listen, you will never be able to hear. Sometimes I ask people a brutal question. If your life doesn't change in the next 5 years, who is responsible? Most people instinctively look outward. The economy, their parents, their partner, their boss, bad luck, timing. But after years of studying human behavior, coaching professionals, and rebuilding parts of my own life from scratch, I've come to a conclusion that is both uncomfortable and liberating. Nearly 93% of the chaos in our lives is self-created, not intentionally, not because we're weak, but because we think in ways that quietly sabotage us. We react emotionally instead of strategically. We repeat decisions that feel good in the moment, but damage us long-term. The good news: if most of your problems are created internally, they can also be solved internally. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 70 valuable lessons that, when understood deeply and applied consistently, can dissolve most of the confusion, stress, and self-inflicted suffering in your life. If you value real growth and honest conversations about discipline, mindset, and emotional strength, subscribe to the channel. I'm here to help you think better, act stronger, and build a life you respect. Let's begin. The first truth I had to accept in my own life was this: you are both the problem and the solution. Radical responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything. It's about reclaiming power. The moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What part of this is within my control?" your life shifts. Your life today is not a random accident. It is the accumulated result of repeated decisions. Who you spend time with, what you tolerate, what you avoid, what you feed your mind daily. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to poison your perspective. When you compare your behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's highlight reel, you distort reality. You forget that everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. Most people don't suffer because of reality. They suffer because of interpretation. Your mindset is not just a motivational concept, it is a lens. And that lens shapes what you notice, what you exaggerate, and what you ignore. Over the years, I've used a simple daily audit with my clients. 3 questions. What did I control today? What did I react to emotionally? What decision repeated an old pattern? Those 3 questions alone can eliminate a massive percentage of avoidable mistakes. Another lesson: action creates clarity. Thinking has limits. You cannot think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. You cannot think your way out of fear. You move toward it and shrink it. A fear is not there to stop you. It signals that something matters. If you feel fear before a conversation, a project, a risk, it means you care. Growth often hides behind discomfort, but here's a discipline filter I teach. Never make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Anger, loneliness, jealousy, excitement, they all distort perception. Before making a major decision, ask yourself, will this matter in 10 years? That question alone dissolves many unnecessary dramas. Your mental diet matters as much as your physical diet. What you consume through social media, conversations, and news shapes your emotional baseline. Guard it carefully. If mindset is the foundation, emotional control is the structure. Overthinking ruins more opportunities than failure ever could. The mind loves to rehearse worst-case scenarios. But rehearsing disaster is not preparation. It's self-sabotage. Most situations turn out differently than your anxiety predicts. One emotional skill that changed my life is the 90-second rule. When intense emotion hits, pause. Observe the sensation in your body. Most emotional surges physiologically peak and decline within about 90 seconds if you don't fuel them with additional thoughts. You are not your first emotional reaction. You are what you choose after it. Missing someone doesn't mean you need them back. Loneliness can distort memory. It edits out the reasons things ended. Emotional maturity is learning to separate nostalgia from compatibility. Let actions speak louder than words. People will reveal themselves through patterns. Promises are cheap. Consistency is expensive. Pain is not punishment. It is instruction. Hard times do not create heroes. They reveal the hero already within you. When you face difficulty instead of escaping it, you discover strength you didn't know you possessed. You don't drown by falling into water. You drown by staying there. Everyone falls. Resilience is deciding not to remain submerged. Letting go is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Forgiveness is not about approving what happened. It is about freeing your energy from being chained to it. Healing moves at the speed of forgiveness. Happiness is not the absence of problems. It is the ability to deal with them effectively. When you stop chasing happiness and start building emotional stability, happiness quietly appears as a byproduct. Gratitude is not naive optimism. It is neurological training. When you deliberately look for what is working, you retrain your brain to see opportunity instead of only threat. If emotional strength stabilizes you internally, relationships test you externally. Honesty may not earn you a crowd, but it earns you the right crowd. Authenticity filters your circle. And yes, that can feel lonely at first. Never make someone a priority who only makes you an option. Self-respect is not arrogance. It is clarity about your value. If you try to be liked by everyone, you will slowly betray yourself. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines for how others are allowed to treat you. Not everyone wants you to win. Some people project their fears and insecurities onto you. Recognize projection without absorbing it. Their limits are not yours. Choose partners based on values, not only attraction. Looks may capture attention, but values build legacies. Your future family, your peace, your growth, they are shaped by shared principles, not chemistry alone. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. The higher you elevate someone, the smaller you make yourself. Share your progress, not your goals. Goals are fragile in early stages. Protect them. Let your results speak. Be careful with your past. Not everyone needs access to your full story. Some people misunderstand. Others weaponize information. Guard your words. You were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listening is strategic. Speaking impulsively is expensive. Kindness is powerful, but it requires boundaries. Generosity without discernment attracts exploitation. As you mature, you will learn which bridges to maintain and which to burn. Not every connection deserves lifelong access. Now let's talk about discipline and long-term success. Commitment gets you started. Consistency gets you somewhere. Persistence keeps you there. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. You cannot think your way into a new life. You act your way into one. Small daily actions compound. A 1% improvement repeated daily transforms identity over time. Success is not about resources. It's about resourcefulness. Many people wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions never arrive. Progress begins with what you already have. You find purpose somewhere out there. You create purpose by committing deeply to something meaningful where you are. Purpose is built through contribution. Every next level of your life demands a different version of you. If you try to reach a new level with an old mindset, you will sabotage your own progress. The greatest risk in life is doing nothing. Life is inherently uncertain. Avoiding action does not eliminate risk. It guarantees stagnation. Take care of your body. You only get one. Energy fuels discipline. Discipline fuels results. Invest in experiences more than status. Growth often comes from unfamiliar environments, difficult conversations, and uncomfortable learning curves. Reinvent yourself whenever necessary. You are not obligated to remain the person you were 5 years ago. Now let me give you the framework that ties these 70 lessons together. 93% of life's problems fall into 3 categories: perception problems, emotional reaction problems, and repeated poor decisions. If you correct how you perceive, you reduce unnecessary suffering. If you regulate your emotional reactions, you prevent escalation. If you change the decisions you repeat daily, your future changes automatically. For the next 30 days, try this experiment. Each evening, reflect on 1 perception you corrected, 1 emotional reaction you improved, and 1 decision you upgraded. That's it. 3 shifts per day. You do not need to solve everything at once. You need to improve your patterns. Your life will not go exactly as planned. And that is not a tragedy. It is an invitation to evolve. You are stronger than you think. You have survived every difficult day so far. You are undefeated. And if there is one final lesson I want you to carry with you, it is this: nothing changes until you change. But the moment you do, everything begins to shift. Stay disciplined, stay aware, stay courageous. And remember, you are not waiting for a better life. You are building one. If you step back and look at everything we've explored, a powerful pattern emerges. Most of the stress, confusion, and repeated disappointments in life do not come from the world being against you. They come from unexamined thoughts, unmanaged emotions, and unconscious patterns that quietly repeat themselves. When you change how you interpret events, how you regulate your reactions, and how you choose your daily actions, you fundamentally change the direction of your life. These 70 lessons are not separate motivational quotes. They are connected principles. Responsibility gives you power. Emotional control gives you stability. Boundaries give you self-respect. Discipline gives you momentum. Purpose gives you direction. When these elements align, life does not become perfect, but it becomes clearer. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop chasing validation. You stop blaming circumstances. Instead, you begin building intentionally. The deepest lesson here is this: your external life is a delayed reflection of your internal standards. Raise your standards for how you think, how you respond, what you tolerate, and what you repeat, and your life will follow. How do you apply this starting today? Begin small. Tonight, reflect on 3 things. 1 thought you corrected, 1 emotion you handled better than before, and 1 decision that moved you forward instead of keeping you stuck. Do this daily. You don't need dramatic transformation. You need upgraded patterns. Over time, those patterns compound into identity, and identity shapes destiny. Stop waiting for motivation. Build structure. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Take the first step. Stop asking who will save you. Decide that you will. Now I want to hear from you. What is 1 lesson from this video that you feel could change your life if you truly applied it? Comment your answer below so others can learn from your perspective as well. And if you found this video valuable, if it helped you even in 1 small way, subscribe to support the channel so we have the motivation to continue producing meaningful content for you.